Hey folks, today we're going to be talking about brand touchpoints. Now, one of the things I try to do when I'm creating these videos is keep the design jargon to an absolute minimum. But there are times where I myself forget about using jargony terms, and an instance of that happened the other day when I was speaking to a client and I was just generally chatting away to them about a new brand project that we were going to be working on together, and I mentioned the phrase brand touchpoints, and they suddenly had a confused look on their face. And as expected, the client wasn't exactly sure what a brand touchpoint was, and so I thought this is a great opportunity to create a video on that subject. So what is a brand touchpoint? Well, essentially it's whenever someone has an interaction with your brand. This could be something like an email, speaking to an employee, using your car park, your website, social media pages, or even your toilet facilities. All of these are brand touchpoints. The list can go on and on. The key thing is, when someone interacts with one of these brand touchpoints, they have a positive experience from it. It isn't always about the flashy website or the shiny office space that you have. Sometimes it's the very, very small touch points that can make the difference. For example, let's say you run a restaurant. You're going to go all out creating amazing marketing materials, that shiny website, menus and advertisements to promote the business. You've made sure you've got the best food, the best drinks, your staff are all very well trained, your premises look $1 million, and you are ready to go. But what if the customer doesn't have a great booking experience? What if they called up and the person answering the phone was in a grumpy mood? Or the customer turns up to your shiny premises, but they can't get parked outside and they have to park 4 or 5 streets away and walk back to the restaurant through the pouring rain. That's just a couple of examples of 2 brand touchpoints that you may not think about, but will have quite a large impact on how that person feels about your brand. We all know that when someone has a positive experience, they will maybe tell their friends, or they may post something online about it. When someone has a bad experience, you can be sure they're going to tell everyone about it. And they're going to post it in as many places as possible. This is why it's important that we know about all the touch points that a customer can interact with our brand. An exercise which is really worth undertaking is to look at every touch point you can think of that someone is going to have with your brand. Now, this could be a list of hundreds, but it's something you have to look at. Go through the list and look at these touch points. Do you think where they're at right now, your customers are going to have a positive experience, or is there potential for a negative experience? You need to go into these in minute detail and make sure that you do everything that you can so that your client has a positive experience from it. This could take you quite a bit of time to do, but in the long run, it will serve you well. Another thing to keep a note of is that touchpoints aren't individual. They can work together. They're part of the customer's journey into your brand. They'll go from one touch point to the next, and that journey can be good, can be bad, or could be absolutely amazing if you do it right. Let's take a look at this great brand matrix from Hello Future. And what I love about this is it just makes everything so simple when it comes to visualizing the brand touch points. Now, this isn't obviously every single brand touchpoint you could have, but it's some of the main ones, and it gives you the idea and lets you see what it is I'm trying to explain. So the brand touchpoint matrix here is kind of split into 4 quadrants. On the lower left, we've got mass market quick interactions, and those are things like TV spots, print ads, AdWords, Google AdWords, a campaign site, maybe a landing page, or an online review. Up above there in the high engagement but quick interaction side, we've got Twitter, customer service, and your company website. Over on the right hand side in the lower quadrant, we've got multiple long-term interactions. We've got printed material, we've got emails, and we've got Facebook. Up on the top, again, we've got that personal, hands-on brand touch points, but multiple long-term interactions. So you've got your store, your product, mobile applications, and community. And what Hello Future have done is they've kind of segmented those again into low gravity touch points and high gravity touch points. So all of the ones here over on the left, they are indeed interactions with your brand, but they're often fleeting and not really going to hold someone's attention for too long. Move over to the high gravity side, where you have your store, you have your email, your Facebook pages. These are things that people can hold on to and be in constant communication with your brand. These are the things that will have high gravity and will pull them towards your brand and hold them there. Let's take a look at an example of a customer journey through the brand touch points. So you can see here, we're going from the low gravity over to the high gravity, and this is the example journey of this customer. So they've seen a TV advertisement, which has put your brand into their radar space. Then they've seen a printed advert, and they can maybe remember seeing the TV advert as well. So it's got them curious. Maybe they're thinking about your product or service. Maybe they're ready to buy there and then, but maybe they're ready to buy in the not too distant future. So what they do is they then hop over to your website to check you out a little bit more. Maybe you're providing all of the right information for them. They've got questions, you're answering them. Enough so that they then hop onto your store page, or maybe they get in the car and they drive down to a bricks and mortar premises that you have. In that store, they then purchase a product, and from that product, they may then be invited to download a mobile app, which could maybe help them track delivery, give them further information on the product which they've ordered, or it might be that it's a digital product and it allows them to get upgrades and more information that way. Inside that mobile app, there's a link through to a community page. Now that may be a Facebook group or another online system such as Slack, where the customer can interact with you on a daily basis, and you, more importantly, can interact with them, giving them brand messaging, brand offers, and things like that. By getting your customer to follow this journey, going from the TV spot, for example, all the way through to being a community member, if they make it this far, the chances are they've become a brand advocate, and what they're going to do is at any given opportunity, they're going to sing the praises of your brand. So that's my really quick overview of brand touchpoints. I hope it gives you enough information so that when someone mentions it, you have an idea of what it is they're talking about. And as I said earlier, brand touchpoint is simply where people interact with your brand. Whether they're speaking to you on the telephone, whether they're visiting you in a shop, whether they're reading an email from you. Any of these interactions are brand touch points. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've learned from it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please share the video with someone that you think may find this useful. Until I see you next time, folks, stay creative.